Morning you guys, it's Karen, and I thought I would come and review this Cloud9 straightener, and I'm also briefly mentioning the Babulous diamond straightener because it's a less expensive option if you can't get the Cloud9. I've been on a bit of a straightener journey, as some of you will know if you watch my vlog channel. I've talked about how, so I had the GHDs, the old ones, and I had them for many years and loved them, wouldn't dream of using anything else. Actually, let me go back to before that. I remember always buying cheap, you know, just drugstore straighteners, and I just thought, who would ever spend £100 on a pair of straighteners? And then I used my sisters, and I was like, okay, that's why, because they just seemed to glide through my hair, and I just thought they were the most amazing things ever, and I've used them ever since. And I say use them ever since, I mean the same pair, so I'd had them for about 8 years, and I just felt like they weren't sliding through my hair as well as they should, and I thought it's time for me to buy a new pair, and I knew there were new GHDs out. So I got the new GHDs, I have reviewed them, and I liked them, but I didn't feel like they were worth the money. I didn't feel like I had that same, you know, they just slipped through my hair. I just didn't have that feeling with them. And I thought, for that money, I expect to get something amazing, because otherwise I could just buy the less expensive ones, you know. So I returned them, and I have since been using the Cloud9, and I've also got these Babulous diamond straighteners. So I asked you guys what were your recommendations, and a lot of you said Cloud9, and a lot of you said, no, a couple of you said these Babulous ones. So this has got a 3-meter cord, which is good. I like to have a long cord, and it's one of these kind of swivelly ones. It is the on-off switch is inside, which I have to say, that's the only thing I don't like about these. I wish it was on the outside, because the GHDs did have a button on the outside, and that was much better, especially for me, because I'm kind of clumsy and I will end up burning myself at some point trying to get to, I'm always in a rush, and so I'll grab them and be like, oh, where's that button, you know. But it's inside, you switch it like that, and then you can see it light up the other side. Also, minor complaint, I wish they made a noise to tell me they were heated up, because again with the GHDs you pressed it and they made a noise to tell you they were heated up, whereas with these you just have to watch. Let me show you. So if I switch it on, you can see that it's flashing. Hopefully you can see that, and then when it's heated up it just stops flashing, so that's what you need to look out for. So that's kind of, you have to have them facing you, and like I said, it doesn't make a noise to say that it's heated up. I just suddenly thought that, wouldn't it be funny if they were supposed to make a noise, but the ones I had didn't make a noise. I thought somebody's going to leave a comment saying they should make a noise when they heat up. They heat up in 15 seconds. They have got mineral infused plates, and there are, again, the heat settings I'm a bit confused about. If you read the website, it tells you there's 5 heat settings, but there's actually, well, no, there is 5 large spots here. The bottom one doesn't have a number. The next one up is 100, then there's a 150, 200 and high. But there are 2 little smaller dots in between those that it does go, so what you do, let me show you, it's high, on, and then you've got high and low, so you switch high and it moves up, low and it moves down. And it does move to those smaller spots even though they don't have a heat level on it, and I don't think they mean anything, but I'm not sure why it has to go through that small spot. You know, what would happen if you put it on that spot? Is it somewhere between 100 and 150? Because there's one of the spots between that. And again, it just says 200 and then high. And I don't know whether high is higher than 200, because the website says it goes up to 200 degrees. But anyway, the other thing is this is on the inside. This is sounding negative. This is not a negative review at all. I'm just telling you what I think are the downsides to a really good pair of straighteners, and it's really just that, like I said, that button is on the inside, the buttons are on the inside. So those things aside, I think it's really good, and I think it's much better than the GHD one, I have to say. As I said with the GHD one, I felt like I had to go over my hair twice. I don't with this. I just have to go through it once, and it doesn't feel like it's tugging or pulling at all. It just feels like, you know, a knife through butter. It doesn't feel like you're pulling or doing anything to your hair. So much so actually that it's something that sometimes I don't bother with heat protection, which is not a good thing. You know, I should always put heat protection on my hair, but because it's so, it just doesn't feel like it's pulling at all. You just often feel like, well, it doesn't matter, I don't need it, you know, which is not the case. But yes, I love these so far. These are really lightweight. Let me just compare them to these for you. So these ones are £129 from John Lewis. These are the original ones. There is also others which are touch, which I believe you like put the plates together to get them to start up, but I wouldn't want those ones because I don't know, that's just not my cup of tea. But £129.99, so £130. These ones are £7.99, I wish, £79.99. So they are £50 cheaper than these ones. Oh, excuse me, I've got hair in my face. If you want to buy a really good pair of straighteners, but that's just a little bit too much for you, these are pretty much as good. The problem with these for me is that they're too heavy. This is the Babyliss Diamond hair straighteners. These ones do have the controls on the outside, which I like. They do also go through the hair like butter. But yes, they're heavier. These are 400 grams, these are 450 grams, which doesn't sound like much, but for traveling, every gram counts, I think, because you want to fit more in your suitcase and not have to pay over the odds, and these are nice and lightweight. But also for me, I noticed the difference with these, with my joints, with holding them and straightening my hair, especially if you're straightening all of your hair, and like me, you've got thick hair. You will notice the difference, you know. It is like, I noticed it with my hairdryer. It's like, oh, for goodness sake, you know. So these ones are much more lightweight. That's the only real differences between them. These actually, there is one other difference. These Babyliss ones go up to 235 degrees. Like I said, I can't swear that these don't go higher than 200. The website says 200, but there is that setting above it called high. But I believe that about 200 degrees is the optimum heat to straighten your hair anyway. I think anything higher is not considered useful, but these do go to 235, just to let you know. Like I said, they're £79.99. I got these ones for £35 though, because there was an offer on in Boots. It was half price, or better than half price. I think I paid £36 or £37 for them. So maybe look out for that offer. It's definitely not on. I checked, and I did check when I knew I was going to do the review, and I could find them for about £40, but even now I can't find them for that. If you put it in Google, Babyliss Diamond Straighteners and shopping, you'll get like the best deal. They both have an automatic safety shut off after, I think it's half an hour for both of them. That's really important to me, because the amount of times that I've left the house and worried that I've left my straighteners on, and I always appease myself because I can get really panicky about it, and I think, what if the house is on fire? And I've always thought, you know what, it's material possessions, like nobody's going to lose their life. But now that I've got Watson, and if I've left the house, it's likely that Watson will be here, I really want to know that these are going to shut off. And so both of these do shut off. They both heat up very, very quickly, like in about 15 seconds, I think it is for both of them. And I think that's all there is to tell you about it. I would 100% recommend the Cloud9 straighteners if you're looking for new straighteners. But like I said, if you don't want to spend the £130, the Babyliss Diamond straighteners are very good as well. They are £50 cheaper, but they are heavier, which is an issue for me. I wouldn't take these away, and these are the ones I'm going to be using every day, just because they're much more lightweight. So I hope that was useful to you. I thought it was worth doing, because if you want to spend a good amount of money on straighteners, you want to know that they are going to work for you, you know, and know all the little sort of details and have a review of them. Because we're not a country where you can take things back, unfortunately, just because you don't get on with them. But hopefully, like I said, that was useful. If you've got any questions at all, leave them in the comments. I'll give you a quick rundown of what I've got on my face. I've got on the Marc Jacobs foundation, Remarkable Foundation in Bisque Taupe. I've used the Urban Decay Single Eyeshadow in Lounge, and then the Urban Decay, ooh, I didn't realise I used both Urban Decay products, the Electric palette. On my cheeks, I used NARS Sin blush, and on my lips, I've just got, so what did I put on? Oh, Cherish, was it? No, Honey Love, Max Honey Love lipstick, and then I used a Clarins Instant Lip Perfector, but I have done a tutorial, not a tutorial, a get ready with me for this look, so I will link that below for you. That's everything. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll speak to you again soon.